Hello, hello. What you missed if you weren't here from our in-class work. When you create a new project, the clip that we're going to be using, the imported clip, is going to be 5 minutes long. So you want to change this section right here to about 5 minutes. Click OK. Go to Google Classroom. Download the audio clip that I have from the in-class, and you're going to bring it in like so. Mine is right here. And then you're going to click and drag this file down right here. So the goal of this project, I'm going to scale it up, is to take bits of audio clip from this guy talking, give an interview, and to rearrange him to make it sound like he's saying something that he didn't say. So I'm just going to randomly zoom in and steal bits of what he's saying to rearrange it to give the feel of what the project is. So this might be a little bit of a long video.
Diabetes and how it's affected me in my
Okay,
life.
so he says diabetes.
Diabetes.
He starts right here. I'm going to press Control-Shift-D to trim the clip.
Diabetes.
He stops here, and I'm going to save this clip right here. This clip right here, isolated, he just says
Diabetes.
diabetes. So I'm going to name this. I'm going to select this layer, press Enter, name it diabetes. And I'm going to save that for later. I'm going to delete this clip right here because I don't need it. And I'm going to run this stuff back to the beginning of the project for later. So now I'm going to continue listening.
And how it's affected me in my life. I'll start when I was first diagnosed. I was scared to death.
Here we go.
I was scared to death.
So I'm going to steal that. Start here. Make sure this layer is selected. Control-Shift-D. I was scared to death. I don't need any of this, so I'm going to delete it. Keep everything nice and clean.
I was scared to death. I was experiencing symptoms that were strange, and I was experiencing.
Okay, I want the end of I was scared to death.
I was scared to death.
Right there. So I'm going to press Control-Shift-D. Now on this layer I have I was scared to death. So I'm going to drag this a little bit layer, and I'm going to fine-tune cut this. So I'm going to name it, click it, press Enter, scared to death.
I was scared to death.
Okay, so that seems good, and I can move this back to the beginning of the project. And now I have 2 bits of audio that I can rearrange later. Now I'm going to go back to where I was at, and I'm going to continue listening.
I was experiencing symptoms that were strange and unfamiliar to me. For instance, I had an unquenchable thirst.
Okay.
An unquenchable, for instance.
So I'm going to start this right here. I'm going to Control-Shift-D. I don't need any of this, so I'm going to delete it.
I had an unquenchable thirst.
Okay, I'm going to steal that, and I'm going to click this layer that I clipped, press Enter, and I'm going to call it Thirst. I'm continue listening.
Tongue felt like a horseshoe rasp.
Okay, I'm going to save that, and I'm going to name this. Click it, press Enter. I'm going to name it Tongue, and I'm going to go.
I was losing my vision. I was losing my energy. I was getting up every 15 or 20 minutes. And as a result of all these things, I lost all my energy. I lost all my energy.
Okay, I'm going to steal that.
I lost all my energy.
Okay, I'm going to Control-Shift-D that, and this bit right here I'm going to call Energy. Okay, the stuff in the middle I don't need, I'm going to delete, and I'm going to delete this right here, assuming that I've accumulated enough clips to create a 10-second clip. So in the end, the goal of this was to have 10 seconds of audio that I can rearrange and work with. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of this, and it looks like I don't have that, but I can duplicate a little bit of this to make it work. So right here, I'm going to go.
I had an unquenchable. I was scared to death.
Okay, I'm going to make sure these don't overlap one another.
I had an unquenchable thirst. I was scared to death. Diabetes. My tongue felt like a horseshoe.
Okay, I'm going to make it say my tongue felt like a diabetes.
Felt like a horse.
Okay.
My tongue felt like a.
I'm going to line this up.
My tongue felt like diabetes. Diabetes. I lost all my energy. I lost all.
I'm going to duplicate this right here, Control-D, and he's going to lose all his diabetes.
Lost all my diabetes.
And this is scared to death. I'm going to duplicate this again and just drag it over here.
Diabetes. I was scared to death.
I'm going to duplicate this again.
Diabetes.
And he's going to say it one more time. And then I've got 10 seconds of audio right there.
I had an unquenchable thirst. I was scared to death. My tongue felt like diabetes. I lost all my diabetes. I was scared to death. Diabetes.
And then he's going to say, I was scared of diabetes.
I was scared to death.
Scared to diabetes.
I was scared to diabetes. I was scared to diabetes.
Okay, there's 10 seconds right now. I'm going to select all these clips. I'm going to press Control-Shift-D, and I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to name it audio. Press Enter, audio, and there we go for the 10-second audio clip.
I had an unquenchable thirst. I was scared to death. My tongue felt like diabetes. I lost all my diabetes. I was scared to diabetes.
Okay, so the clip ends at 10 seconds. I'm going to trim it up, Control-Shift-D, and that is that.